What's up, guys? Welcome back to ABC Acres. This is Justin. We're out here bright and early this Saturday morning. We're going to talk a little bit about our off-grid barn setup that we've got on a budget. So you guys hang around. We're also going to be checking in on Maple, our first doe that's due to kid any day now. But first, we're going to get these chickens some treats and get some hay out for these goats. Good morning, everybody. Let's get you girls some hay. Fresh hay out for the girls. They've definitely backed off on how much they eat. We haven't been having to fill the feeder up quite as frequently. This girl, we're getting there. We're on watch. I checked her this morning. Her ligaments are still there, so not anytime too soon. But definitely looks like her udder's starting to fill up. We got everybody taken care of, covered first thing this morning. I'm gonna get Soul a little bit of hay and give him on the way out of here. You guys go finish that pot of coffee and we'll be back in just a minute. We're gonna talk about our off-grid barn setup. Welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody's day's off to a good start. Our day's off to a better start than I anticipated. It's supposed to rain today, which you can see it's definitely cloudy, but we've managed to dodge the rain so far. I'll call that a win. Let's talk real quick about our barn, our non-electric off-grid barn. Don't get me wrong, this isn't anything special or big, but we do have lights and we run our electric fence out of this barn. The number one reason we chose to not run power to this barn is just cost. The cost was going to be a lot more expensive to run power to this little tiny 16 by 12 barn for a couple lights and a fence charger. So this is our budget-friendly system for an off-grid solar powered barn. Let's start with our lights. So the first year we kitted in this barn, we didn't have any lights. And if you've had goats or any livestock kids born on your place before, you know animals love to have their babies at night. So we used flashlights and headlamps, and that worked great, but it's not super convenient. It's easy to be able to just turn some lights on in the barn. I mentioned these lights quickly in the last video, but I got them mounted permanently. Look at that. Beautiful. Just push, lights on. Want to look in the stall? Reach right over here, push. Perfect. Lights in the stall. Adding these lights made life a lot easier for kidding season or those early mornings when I need to put hay out before I go to work and it's 5 o'clock in the morning and it's pitch black. I can come in here, push the one or two of these lights on over the main loafing area and look everybody over super easy. These lights are super bright for no bigger than they are, and I said this in the last video, but I will definitely do it in this video. I will post a link to these cheap Harbor Freight lights that we bought. So the way I mounted them is I put epoxy under this so it's secured there, and then 3 AAA batteries is all it takes. So one thing that people always ask about One thing I researched a ton before I bought one, or before I decided if it's something I even wanted to do, that is electric fence solar chargers. So I wanted to have the option of having electric fence to temporarily cut off sections of our pasture if areas needed to grow back. But I didn't want to run power down here. So I started looking into solar chargers and solar panels that weren't going to break the bank. So I found this solar panel kit on Amazon. I think I paid about $50 for it, shipped to my house from Amazon. I will find a link to this one or one similar to it and leave it in the description with the lights. But it came with a small solar panel, which is mounted on the roof. It came with a controller, and that controller goes from the solar panel to the controller to the battery. That controls how much charge goes to your battery and tells you how much charge is left in your battery. So I'm just running a deep cycle marine battery from Napa, and I've had zero issues with that battery. It's lasted great. That solar panel keeps it more than charged through the summer months. Winter months with the shorter days, if you run it a lot, you might have a little trouble, but I don't run our charger much through the winter whenever I'm just feeding hay. So I went with the Cyclop Champ charger, and it is 5 joule output. It is made for a solar system like this. It has clamps to where you can clamp right on your battery post. It works great. The charger has to be grounded. It goes from here down to ground rods outside the barn. It goes from here down. We ran it through this PEX pipe and goes under the barn, and then it goes underground out the other side all the way over to the fence. A 5 joule charger is way more than enough to power this not even 1 acre paddock that the does are in themselves. But I wanted it to be super strong charge. That way whenever these does get a hit of that electricity, they won't ever want to do it again. Well, I spoke too soon. Now it's starting to rain, and all the girls are moving over here into the barn with us. There are times when it would be great if I had some power outlets down here that I could run some equipment off of. Like if I wanted to clip the hair on these goats, it would be easier to do down here. The goats are already here. I wouldn't have to drag them up to the house. I could just plug in some clippers and do it right here at the barn. Or like this spring or summer, I plan on painting this barn. In case you haven't noticed, it's looking a little rough. But I want to be able to plug an air compressor in so that I can run a paint gun to paint this thing super quick instead of rolling it on. It'd be nice if I had an outlet here. I could just plug that compressor in and it would just be all right here. We have to look at what is better for the long-term status of our farm. I haven't needed outlets that often, so those few times a year even, I can take the goats up to the house and clip them up there. Or if I want to paint this barn, I can borrow a small generator to plug into and do that. Who knows, maybe one day we'll level up and have one of those fancy little solar powered portable power stations that we could just carry down here to the barn. I didn't video this. I'm not sure why I didn't video it real quick, but Cinnamon was, I assume, jumping up here next to Clover, and she slipped off of that platform. And when I looked around, she was laying flat on her back with her feet straight up in the air. I've always heard about and seen a few video clips of sheep, if they get on their backs like that in the pasture, you gotta get them turned back over because they can't turn themselves back over. They could die that way. I've never thought about that with my goats, but just watching her not be able to turn over, and if I hadn't been down here at work or something all day, it could have been a scary situation. Don't you two know it's raining out here? Why don't you two just go get in your shelter? These two are wild. We got one egg so far today. Nice little green egg here. We're working in between rain. We just finished up a hailstorm. So it's just one of those days. Actually, we've been watching some Tennessee baseball. And in between, I've been running out, trying to get some stuff done. These girls do not like the rain. The best way to check and see if your goat is close to labor is actually to check the ligaments back here at their tail. So there's ligaments that run down each side of her tail, right where my fingers are, and they feel just like a number 2 pencil runs right down the side. If you rub across right there, you can kind of feel those hard ligaments. As she gets closer to labor, those ligaments will start to soften up, and eventually you'll go out, try to squeeze those ligaments, and you won't be able to find them. They'll be completely gone, and at that point, you better get ready for some goat babies. This girl's ligaments are still here, so we still got some time. She's still up, eating, acting pretty normal, so we're just gonna keep an eye on her, and as patiently as we can, wait on the arrival of some maple babies. That's all we got for today, guys. Just thought I'd show you our setup for what we do for our little barn and our little farm with the few animals we have. It may not work for your setup. You may need a lot more power for your barn, and this may not be the best option. But there are a lot of people out there with a small setup. Maybe this will work for you. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. We really do appreciate it. You guys be safe out there. God bless. We'll see you on the next video.